What's good, y'all? It's the one and only King Cal 516 live in the mix, and this is the Switch Flames podcast. So the Staples Center will be getting a brand new name in one of the richest deals in sports naming rights history. And we're going to get right into that. But before we do, make sure you check out the website, www.switchflames.com. Hit us up on Twitter at SwitchFlames. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Make sure you comment about what you think about this naming rights deal that we are going to break down right now. And don't forget to hit the notification tab to stay up to date with everything Switch Flames podcast. So AEG, which is one of the largest promoters in the world, and just so you understand how big AEG is, one of the biggest events they do, we're all familiar with, whether you've been there or not, you at least probably heard of it. It's Coachella, right? This is an agency. They own a lot of sports teams. They got a big stake in sports teams, and they own a few venues. All right, so we know that the Staples Center, which was opened up in 1999, you know, some people will say the house that Kobe built and Shaq, you know, that was those Lakers. They won, Kobe in his time won 5 NBA championships in the Staples Center. Right? It's home of the Lakers. We know it's also home, at least for the time being, of the LA Clippers, who will move out pretty soon. The Los Angeles Kings and the LA Sparks are all teams, professional teams that play currently in the Staples Center. So the Staples Center will be getting a brand new name, which it will now be called Crypto.com from this point on. So they basically cut a deal with the Singapore cryptocurrency exchange, according to the LA Times. And the deal is going to be worth more than $700 million for the naming rights. Once again, this will make it one of the richest naming rights deals in history. Now, part of the reason why it's going to be at that number, you got to think about it. The LA Lakers play there. LA Lakers are one of the most popular teams in the world, right? Not only that, you're in the middle of LA, which is one of the biggest markets. And so there's a lot of attention on the Staples Center. They do a lot of big-time events. You got the LA Live experience. You got a lot of things down there. So this is a great business deal in the sense of it. But, you know, already offhand, since this news dropped, I know there's a lot of, in particular, Lakers fans that are kind of, you know what I mean, in the kind of not too happy about the naming change. You know what I mean? But the Lakers do not own the building. You know what I mean? AEG owns the building. And I even remember last year, the Lakers renewed their deal with AEG when it came to the Staples Center, right? And part of that deal was they're going to be upgrades to the Staples Center as time progresses. Similar to, if you think about it, Madison Square Garden, right? Madison Square Garden has been there forever in New York City. And anybody who's been MSG, you know, over the course of time, they've always done revamps to Madison Square Garden, because Madison Square Garden is such a big name arena. They don't want to tear it down to build it back up. So what they've done with Madison Square Garden, as the years have gone by, they will invest a lot of money in remodeling it, refurbishing it to keep it up to date. And the Staples Center in that location, is thriving in that location. And so part of what this AG group is going to be doing over the course of, you know, this time in that area is going to be continuously revamping the arena to update it, to make sure that it's up to par with different arenas around the world. And so when you have that kind of big time market, you're going to spend some money. And so this is a great deal for that ownership group. AEG owns a number of sports teams, including the Kings and Galaxies. They also own venues including the LA Live, which is where the Staples Center is, the Oakland Coliseum, and London's O2 Arena. All right, so this is a company that makes a lot of money. They do a lot of big things, and so this is a big deal. So from an NBA standpoint, you know what I mean, the Lakers will be there long term, and so it's going to be called the Crypto.com Arena. And by all looks of it, on Christmas Day when the Lakers play the Brooklyn Nets, they will reveal the logo of the arena, and by June, all the signage around the stadium will be updated to Crypto.com. And so this is an amazing story just about the amount of money and how naming rights is a big business now for these people who build arenas, whether it's the actual owners of the sports teams or a private company building these arenas. It's a big business in getting these naming rights. And so big time deal, $700 million deal, change the Staples Center to Crypto.com. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think about this deal. What are your personal opinions about it? hit me up. It's your boy King Cal 516 live in the mix, and this has been the Switch Flame Podcast, y'all.